Oh, it's an important day. Mothering Sunday. And so we couldn't fail to have one of Mrs. Yorkshire the Baking Bard's wonderful poems about mums.
Yes.
And this is something, Carol, that will be very close to your heart.
Oh, yes, because I'm a mum, of course, myself.
Yeah, of course.
So,
and do you get spoiled on Mother's Day?
Well, my daughter lives away, actually, but she's really good. She's a lovely girl. She's getting married later this year to a wonderful man.
Good, you approve. That's always good to know.
Very much, yes. I only have one child, but I still get spoiled, yeah.
And do you remember sort of those very early Mother's Days? And was there the whole sort of bringing breakfast in bed that maybe wasn't all completely edible, but she made a real effort? Did you have moments like that where she sort of tried to bring up a tray of food and things? And
not really, no. She's more of a baker.
So she's also a baker.
She can bake, but the other thing that Jessica
chip off the baking block.
Yes, chip off the baking block. But she's a fantastic artist. So the cards were amazing. The cards that she made, and she also was really good with woodwork. So she used to make little wood things, sculptures at school.
Wow. And were you a good little child as well?
Oh,
Did you
yes,
celebrate Mother's Day with your own?
Oh, yes. I'm one of 4, actually. So, my mum gets really spoilt because she's got 4 children and then she's got grandchildren as well. And my mum's a typical Irish mammy. So, we're quite, we've got a tradition, really. We're all apron wearers. I always wear an apron. Anybody that knows me will tell you that. If you see Carol, she's in an apron most of the time. And that's from the Irish mammy, you see.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Protecting the garments underneath, throwing flour all around the place.
Yeah. I love to be in my kitchen. And that's how I always think of my mum. Always in a kitchen. And I go back now to see her in Yorkshire. She lives in Yorkshire. I always find her in the kitchen. The first place I find her is the kitchen. She's 82. And she's a nurturist even now.
And so you have one of your literary wonders that you're going to read for us?
I've written a couple of poems about my mum, but I'm going to read the shorter one. And it's actually, because we've just mentioned about baking and kitchens, it's actually called My Mum's Kitchen. So this is a little bit of a trip down memory lane and a bit of nostalgia. I'm sure people will enjoy this. So here we go. Returning from school at the end of the day, all rosy red cheeks from a long day at play, I'd run down the path through the old kitchen door and sit down at the table as often before. Hearty roast dinners and hot Irish stew, warm apple pie and a freshly made brew, crammed round the table where siblings would fight over who'd had the most of the angel delight. She'd live in the kitchen for most of the day. Mum would be singing whilst working away, clearing away once the meals had all ended, with jumpers to knit and our clothes to be mended. Sitting high on the worktop when I was so small, comforting me from a scrape or a fall, wiped the tears on her apron, then back out to play, had a bath in the sink at the end of the day. As a teen in the morning the radio was on, and we'd hear Noel Edmonds on Radio 1. Eating toast on the step with the door open wide, watching out for the school bus to pull up outside. There was always a welcome should visitors call, whether family or friends, there'd be plenty for all. And as we grew older, at each celebration, we had to make room for the next generation. They say that the kitchen's the heart of the home, and you'll always end up there wherever you roam. No posh lavish restaurants and fancy hotels can compare to that kitchen's most heavenly smells. The decades have passed and we've all flown the nest, but she's still in the kitchen, the place I love best. I feel so at home as I walk through the door and sit down at that same kitchen table once more.
Oh, I love that. I don't know, just sort of the visuals that come to mind when it's some of those things that you mentioned, like, you know, sink baths and mending clothes and, you know, the sort of apple pie and the Angel Delight. Oh, Angel Delight. I miss Angel Delight. Oh, it's probably still available. I don't know. But just wonderfully visual, that. And just you can really sort of picture your childhood in that respect. But next time, I want you to come in wearing an apron.
Definitely.
It's got to be done.
Yeah, I've got to wear an apron at some point. And well, I've got some real Bobby Dazzlers, real fancy aprons.
Maybe bring a selection.
Yes.
But for now, do let people know where they can find you, Carol Ellis. Where can they find your work?
Oh, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, and I'm on Instagram. I'm actually building a website at the minute as well. And of course, if you go on Amazon, you can buy... I've got a trilogy of books out, so you can buy those as well. The books make a great present for Mother's Day, actually.
They do. Yes. They're a lovely present for Mother's Day, actually. So there you go. If you've not yet sorted something, you've just about got time. So all you need to do is look for Mrs. Yorkshire, the Baking Bard, and you can find this wonderful trilogy of poetry books. But for now, as ever, it is lovely to have you with us, and we will see you sometime next month.
Oh, yeah.